Okay, Chapter 3, Lesson 3, Proving Lines Parallel. That was the homework checklist supposed to go on the first part of the slide. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about for proving lines parallel is what is the difference between the theorems, which we discussed yesterday, and the converse. So if we're saying that two lines are parallel and we're proving angles then are congruent, that is the theorem we talked about yesterday. If we are saying that angles are congruent based on AIA or AEA, therefore our lines are parallel, that is the converse. So remember, converse from chapter 2 is if we switch the if then and put them in the opposite order, that makes it a converse. So, in the diagram at the right, complete exercises 1 through 8. Complete the following statements to show that A is parallel to B. So if we're using angles to prove theorems, these are all converses then. So we have angle 1, and we're trying to figure out what things would it be equal to. Well, we know it would be congruent to angle 8 because of those are AEA, and angle 5 because those are corresponding. So now looking at angle 3 and list two angles that it's equal to. Well, it's equal to angle 6 because of AIA, and also equal to angle 7 because of corresponding. And again, I'm only going according to the directions from line A to line B. That's why I'm not jumping over here. 9 is 13 because of corresponding, and 16 because of AEA. 11 is 15 corresponding, and 14 AIA. State if it's a postulate or theorem or converse that makes each conclusion in 5 through 8 true. The first one is done for you. So again, if we're using angles to prove lines, then that's a converse. And if we're using lines to prove angles, that's the original theorem. So this one starts with angle 6 to angle 15. And so we know it's going to be a converse. And we just have to figure out which one. So looking from 6 to 15, AIA. Number 7 starts with lines, then angles. So we know it's a theorem. And 2 to 7 is AEA. Last one, 9 to 16, starts as angles, then lines. So we know it's a converse. 9 to 16, AEA. Complete the following statements to show from S to T. So we're going side to side. So 9 would be 1 corresponding. 9 would also be 4 AIA. 5 would be 13 corresponding, and 16 AEA. Number 2, suppose angle 2 and angle 6. What can you conclude about line V and U? Line U is parallel to V because 2 and 6 are corresponding. And since we use the angles to prove the lines, corresponding, converse. 13 starts with angles, then lines, and so does 14. So that would be converse, converse. 5 is lines and angles, so that's a theorem. So 12 to 13, AIA. 3 to 10, AEA. 6 to 14, corresponding. And the last one, If U is perpendicular to T and V is also perpendicular to T, then U and V are parallel. That is definition of transversal. Whoa. There. Okay, so now we're actually going to use what we know and do a proof. We are given that angle 1 and angle 3 are supplementary, which means that they add up to 180 because that is the definition of supplementary. Now, we are also given that M is parallel to N. And if I look at my statement, I'm trying to show A and B parallel. So I'm trying to show these two here parallel. Well, I could only do that if I could show angle 1 and angle 2, and I could show something about them. Okay? So I already have angle 1 and angle 3 added in. And so I have to somehow incorporate angle 2. Well, since they told me these are parallel lines, now I can say that angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180 because they are consecutive angles. Now that both 1 and 3 and 2 and 3 both equal 180, I can set them equal to each other. Plus angle 3 equals angle 2 plus angle 3 because of transitive. Then by subtraction, I can subtract out the 2 or the 3's. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2 because of subtraction. And now I know if those angles are equal, they're going to make parallel lines. So now I can say that A is parallel to B because I've proven that these are equal alternate exterior angles. And it's angles showing lines, so I have to say alternate exterior angles converse. All right, in number 8, find a value of x to make A parallel to B. Well, I want them to be equal because they're alternate interior. So I'm going to set 2x minus 19 equal to 1x plus 13. Subtract x to both sides and add 19 to be 32. On this one, they're same side interior, so they are consecutive, so they equal 180. So 10x minus 30 plus 3x plus 15 equals 180. 13x minus 15 when I combine like terms. 13x equals 195. And 195 divided by 13 is 15.